Welcome to I Wrote That, a podcast where we bring authors and industry experts together to talk about all things books and make the journey to authorship just a little bit easier. My name is Larissa Sohan, and I am the CEO of Next Page Publishing, a hybrid publishing house where we help entrepreneurs write books to grow their businesses. Now, I'm on a mission to help aspiring authors feel like they are in control of the publishing journey and that they are supported by a team of experts who genuinely want the best for them and their books. If you are in the very beginning of your journey, or maybe you have a manuscript that you're finished and you're not sure how to get it out into the world, I encourage you to reach out to us at nextpagepublishing.net. You can schedule your free discovery call and find out how our team of experts can make your journey to being a published author easy, smooth, and successful. Now, without further ado, let's get on to our next amazing guest and make your journey to authorship a little less complicated. Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited to have this guest on here because she is the first guest that we are going to be having on for season 4 of I Wrote That, and I cannot believe we are here. We have had so many wonderful guests, and Wendy is another one that we're going to be adding to the pile of people who come in and inspire us to step out of our comfort zone and do that thing that never really even occurred to us, which is writing a book. And sometimes that's how it happens with people. People walk up to us and they're like, hey, you should write a book. And you're like, what? And that is exactly what happened to Wendy. So Wendy Roberts is the CEO of North Star Strategic Partners. She distinguishes herself with the non-conventional approaches and leadership in key business consulting. And I am, if you know me, you know I'm all about unconventional approaches to anything in life. Like you can literally see the crystals around my neck. Like, bring on the unconventional. Recognized for steering the firm towards emerging technologies like data analytics, AI, cybersecurity, and GRC solutions. She's a beacon of innovation. Get it? Wendy's 25 years of experience encompasses financial and audit leadership, operational, and tech innovation for all size firms. She's highly respected for her role as CFO, in multiple startups. And she's notably guided an early stage software company to successful acquisition. So welcome, Wendy. You've really been all over the map, and you've been to the top and you've been to the bottom and brought it up to the top. Like, you've been doing it all.
Thank you. Thank you, Larissa. I'm very happy to be here today. When I'm listening to you talk about that, and I'm thinking about, man, the journey that I've had, it's been, a blessing. I'm very humbled by it. And, just to be able to share this information with your viewers today is really, really awesome. When you said to me, or you said to the audience that, oh, Wendy was approached about buying, doing a book, I never even thought about it. It was like I had started my business, and this is my 4th company. As I mentioned to you, as you mentioned, I've been part of a couple of different acquisitions. And someone said to me, Wendy, you know so much. Why don't you just write a book? And I'm like, what? Never even occurred to me to even do that. And I was so flattered. And then I said to myself, oh my goodness, where do I start? I had written obviously some journal for the Journal of Accountancy, some articles and stuff like that, but that's way different than writing a book. I had no idea where to start. So I started asking some other individuals that I consider mentors, if you will. I think we all should have mentors or coaches in our lives. Really, and a variety is very, very important. As you say, sometimes, dealing with unconventional is really a good thing because it allows you to think more. It allows you to really expand and think out of the box and come up with some great innovation that you may have not thought about before. So I started on that journey, started interviewing some folks and giving me some ideas of how they went about publishing a book. So I started, going from there. And then I met an individual that helped me get my thoughts together. And so we started on that journey of being able to take my thoughts in the journals. I have like 5 journals of just notes and memos and everything. I just started just letting it all flow during different times of that. It took about 1.5 years to produce this book. So with all of that, we started pulling together all of the thoughts, all of the images, everything that I had thought about, my vision for the company, my vision for the book, and we started going down that route, and it was great. And then I needed to get further. Once we got the manuscript, then I needed to have somebody edit it. So again, I started asking around, who can you refer me to? Can you tell me someone who I could use? And found a wonderful woman in Australia. She was fantastic. I highly recommend her. She's wonderful. And she's going to do my second book. That's a spoiler alert. And so she helped me with that. And then, of course, you have to have a publisher. So I will say for the viewers listening, do your homework on publishers. You, Larissa, are awesome. Kay is awesome. You got to ask the right questions, and you got to know to ask the right questions.
You're gold. I tell you, it's because that's exactly what it is. So I do want to give a shout out because I know all the people that you're talking about because it's a small world, right? Was it Ruth
Yeah.
Faye, your editor?
Yes,
Yes.
she is.
So plug for my company and Kay's company. We all work with Ruth because Ruth is one of the best she's just incredible. So plug to Ruth, plug to Kayla Fleur Anders as well. That's who Wendy worked with. And plug to the community, I guess, of what publishing is, because you're so right, Wendy. You do have to ask the right questions, but so many authors don't know what those questions are. So can I follow that train for a
Sure.
second? What
Yeah.
is your advice around vetting? Because we do the writing coaching, the editing, the design, all of it. So what advice would you give to people that are looking at someone like me as a publisher? What questions should they ask?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. And the questions, I think, really encompass the type of book that you want to publish, because there's a different way of publishing a romance novel versus publishing a business book. And when I first started that journey, I didn't understand that. But once I started interviewing, and I would say interview at least 2 to 3 publishers to get, the knowledge base, but to go on your instinct and your referral and that connection. I had that immediate connection with Ruth, and I
Mhm.
had that immediate connection with Kay, and complete confidence, know, like, trust, right? That's what all business relationships are based on. That to me was the most important thing. And it's not, and for those of your viewers that are listening, it should not be about money. And sometimes going the cheapest route is not the best route. When you
Rarely is it.
Rarely is it. And for those of you who have not done a book and were thinking about doing a book, set yourself a budget. Know exactly what you want to spend, or have an amount that you're going to budget. We spent, I don't know if I can say this,
Yeah,
but
please do.
we spent with the graphic designer, which also was a referral from Kay, who is Christina. Christina, she's awesome.
Yeah, we use her
Um,
as well.
yeah, she's totally awesome. Do expect with a book in I would say 150 pages or so, expect to spend about $20,000 to $25,000
Hmm.
between you taking the time to edit, to write it, and then to edit it, and to get the graphic design, and for publishing. It's about 20 to 25,000 if you want to do it right. And if you're going to do it right. And
Hmm.
that was the mindset I had. Yeah, of course I could have gone cheaper, but I didn't want to do that, because when you think about it like this, the book, and if I can hold it up
Please,
here.
yes, there it
Okay.
is.
This is I actually edited this after with Ruth. I read through it 11 times. I made the changes 11 times, put the effort into it. Do know you got to run your own business, but it's
Hmm.
a year to year and a half journey, and put the money into it because you want it to look graphically correct. You don't want there to be typos or spelling mistakes. You don't want there to have the impression that you didn't spend the time formatting it correctly, so that the mind works and wants to continue to read the book, versus not spending the right amount of time on the book, having errors, having it formatted incorrectly, and someone stops reading it and they put it
Hmm.
down, they never pick it back up. Having a book that you put time into says a lot about you and your business and your reputation.
Hmm. It's huge.
Really, I'm serious about that. It says about you and your reputation, and me, myself, being a CPA and a business consultant, if you saw major errors in my book, what would you think about how I would handle your account?
Lack of detail orientation.
And I'm an accountant.
Yeah.
So what would you think?
Not so
So
great.
that was the mindset. That was the mindset I had. And I developed that budget. I said, we're going to go all the way. Here's another thing too. I didn't know that I learned through this journey. You need to get it copyrighted, spend the money on a good trademark attorney. Go through the trademark process, get your logos trademarked. It's relatively easy. It does take some time. Use a good trademark attorney. I have one. Hopefully she doesn't mind. Her name's Sharon Adams in the East Bay area of California. She's fantastic. Spend the money, get your copyrights in order. Also make sure that if you want to do the publishing to Amazon, you need to have an ISBN. Kay walks you through all of that. You also want to get out on some of the other ones besides Amazon, right? So that you get some other publishers going. And you also could contact independent bookstores, which is what the next steps is what we're doing along with book signings. And the final thing is, why not think about registering your book with the Library of Congress? It's a separate extra step, but it's one in which your book will be memorialized with the Library of Congress. And it's free of charge. It doesn't cost you anything. And you actually get a number. And it's a way, again, for you to help solidify your copyright and your trademarks on your products that you took so long and you spent a lot of money for to produce a product.
Attention, all aspiring authors. Are you ready to turn your book dreams into reality? Look no further than Author Allies, your ultimate companion on the journey to becoming a published author. Picture this: a membership site that offers structure, accountability, skill development, and unwavering support to bring your book ideas to life. That's exactly what Author Allies provides. Dive into weekly writing workshops where you can focus on your goals and stay motivated. Need expert advice? Our monthly Ask the Expert sessions connect you directly with industry professionals for valuable insights. Engage with fellow members through our Beta Reader Switch program, perfect for refining your manuscript before publication. Get access to a list of our verified resources so that when it's time to edit, design, and publish your book, you know where to turn. You can also enhance your craft with our writing training modules, complete the exercises designed to elevate your skills, and participate in the challenges. And as an added bonus, you can enjoy exclusive discounts on our future programs to help you streamline your publishing services. And if you're looking for a little bit more personalized advice, you will have access as a member to our one-on-one coaches to provide tailored support from our experienced professionals. Your literary dreams are within reach within our community of like-minded authors and expert guidance. Visit nextpagepublishing.net to join the membership and create a community around you and your book that guarantees your success. Yeah, I want to kind of summarize this, and I want to shout out to Kay again, because in my world, it's such a small world. It's all about community and collaboration. There's no competition, but Kay does what we do, right? And in the guidance that I give aspiring authors, is like the 3 questions to ask is like, where does my money go? Like when I invest in it, like what are you doing for me? Making sure if you're investing $20,000 to $25,000, you better be getting editing, you better be getting design, you better be getting publishing support. The second question, and I think you touched on it, and it's the most important one, is what happens after the book comes out. The Library of Congress, that's huge. The trademarking, that's huge. I will say Kay will absolutely know more about that than I do because I'm Canadian. We don't do that here in the same degree. But it's different, right? But like your publisher, especially when you're hiring a publishing partner, had better be thinking long-term with you. What is it that they're going to do with you to take you to the next step? Because your success is my success, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100% spot on.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that your viewers and listeners can take some of our conversation, and from that we've been sharing with them, they can write down those questions. Can you take me to the publisher, to Amazon? Can you help me get that ISBN? Can you help me go to the Library of Congress? Do you have somebody that can help me with the graphical design? Because that's super uber important. So all of those things that we're talking about today, you can formulate in questions, and then you can ask those publishers.
Yeah.
Take in mind how they answer the questions.
Yeah.
And right, because
Oh my gosh, yes.
there is a big difference,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I always say, like in my discovery calls and things like that, I always prep the people coming in of like, here's what you should expect from me, kind of a thing, because there's vanity press out there, right? And they're at a different level than Kay and I are at with hybrid publishing. And and if you asked a hybrid publisher, will you help me? Or sorry, a vanity press, will you help me get published? Yeah, 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 no problem, no problem, no problem. And they won't elaborate. They won't tell you how, where, why, when, any of that detail because they don't give a crap, unfortunately. Me, I'm going to ask, yeah, we will. How would you like that done? What are your goals? Like,
Yeah.
what's your plan? What's your date? I have clients that love to publish around their birthdays. And so we have to back plan or, key dates. Christmas is a good one. September is a good one when people are coming back, New Year's, things like that. And so we backtrack, but a vanity won't care. You
Yeah.
are a cog in the wheel and they're just going to push you along as fast as they possibly can. Yeah.
And I also think about reputation because it's your reputation on the line too,
Hmm.
right?
Mine is the hybrid.
Yes,
Yes,
you as the hybrid
hugely,
publisher, huge,
hugely.
right?
Yes.
Because your business is built by referrals, just like mine is.
Yeah.
So how you work with that customer, that author, and how you are able to provide them that direction to go and to kind of guide them. It's kind of the same thing I do as a consultant, right? As an
Hmm.
advisor, as a business advisor. Part of our job is to help our owners, our business owners, our authors, guide them through that path to make sure that we get that ultimate goal
Hmm.
of establishing more profitability and scalability in a business,
Yeah.
or being able to publish that book so you get more referrals. You can use it as a marketing tool or whatever, the purpose of the book the end result that you wanted.
Hmm.
So it's super important to understand who you're working with and what they can offer you.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to come back to it. Don't go cheap.
Yeah.
Pay for the professional advice
Hmm.
because in the long run, it's going to pay loads for you. The
And I think,
reward is going to be
yeah.
immense if you do that.
Can I elaborate on that just for because you said pay for the experience and did you say advice? I
Yeah,
can't- The advice.
absolutely.
And that is one of the biggest difference between hybrid and vanity is that I, as a hybrid, am here to teach you. I'm here to help you achieve your goals. And my entire discovery calls are centered around you and your goals to make sure that I can actually do what you want me to do. Because sometimes I can't, right? And I am ethically bound to tell you when I cannot. But you are hiring us for advice. You are not hiring us to do. If that makes sense. That's part of it. We do the publishing and we do the editing and we do the design, but so much of it is in the conversation. It's in
Yeah,
the guidance that comes out of how do you, Wendy, not you, author, you, Wendy, market this book?
yeah.
Where do you
Totally.
put it? Because it's different. Not on your clients are not hanging out where my sci-fi clients are, or my readers, right? Like it's different. Yeah, so that's so great. So let's talk a little bit about you and your book specifically. What were your goals going into this project?
That's a really great question. The goal was obviously marketing, but it was more of sharing experience because I wish I had a little Wendy on my shoulder when I started my first company in my late 20s or early 30s. I wish I would have had a little Wendy. So when I mentioned I had gotten this idea what is it that really takes the elements, the key pillars to build a successful company, not just a good company, but a great company. What are those pillars? What are those areas that a business can really use, a small business owner, to build a profitable, sustainable business? So I started thinking about that because I had been in corporate. As many of you know, if you see on my LinkedIn, I was in corporate for almost 2 decades, plus CPA accounting, working for the firms. So and I got to see a lot of businesses and deal with a lot of businesses, especially multi-billion-dollar companies. Some of them started very small and they became big. So what was it? So I started looking at those elements. It was marketing strategies, financial structure and growth, operational excellence, and people and team building. So my purpose of the book is to say if you focus, again using the 4 points of focus.
I thought you were gonna curse at me. I was gonna, if you fuck this up, you better.
Focus on the 4 points of focus, you will build a very valuable company that someone is going to want to pay multiple dollars for when you're ready to sell it. That's the ultimate goal. That's the end game. We all go into business for a reason. Yes, to make money, but we should also go into business so that when we're ready to move on to our next chapter, we have a business that's worth something. Why put in all that effort if you don't have a valuable business?
Mm-hmm.
So if you build a profitable, sustainable business that returns a certain equity, a return on equity, or return on that investment, somebody's going to pay you a good dollar amount for that company.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole premise of this book is, what are those four key elements? How do I build on those four key elements? And at the end of the day, when I'm ready to sell my company, how do I do that and get the highest value? So I wanted to bring all that in. And
Yeah.
again, those 5 journals, I mean, they're they're thick, I was just writing. So that's how all of this came together from
Mm-hmm.
my experience. Both, like I said, this is my fourth company. I've been a part of at least 2 acquisitions, plus I've been on the merger and acquisition side in corporate. I wanted to kind of pull that all together and really help the small business owner create a wonderful business that they're proud of.
It's so interesting. I'm also ex-corporate. Most people listening to this show would know this at this point, that I worked in a petrochemical industry for over a decade, and then I burnt out hard. But one of the greatest things that ever did for me was teach me how to operate like a big business. Teach
Yes.
me how to think. When you said operational excellence, my internal gag system like recoiled from what I went through in corporate. But you're so bang on, but it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
icky, right? Like we can do
So,
it not icky. But
yeah.
their intention was good. It was always good. It was always for
Yeah.
the betterment of the company, for the improvement of the people, for sustainability in our community and things like that. But that's the one thing that corporate gave me was,
Yeah.
well, two things: incredible organization skills, because you're one of 1,000. You got to be organized. And
Exactly.
two, how do you think big? And
Yeah.
how do you think long term and big picture? Because
Yeah.
that if you were like me and climbing the corporate ladder, especially, it was
Yeah.
big picture.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And I was in the upper echelons. I was a
Hmm.
finance executive.
Yeah.
So with to those comments, you're absolutely 100% spot on.
Hmm.
So this book called The Only Business Compass You Will Ever Need, and it's available on, if I can publicize this,
Yeah.
Amazon, some of the
We'll
other
we'll put the
publishing.
link down
Oh,
below
okay.
as well. Absolutely.
So that it focuses on taking those elements that we just talked about, marketing strategies. Think about the marketing strategies that corporations have, financial structure and growth. These are
Hmm.
multinational companies. They have to have a structure in place in order to be able to show profit, especially if they do SEC filing, like a 10Q or a 10K here in the United States.
Hmm.
We mentioned operational excellence. You got to have that, because if you don't have operational excellence in large corporations, it's going to show, well, even in a small company, on the bottom line, you're going to waste a lot of money.
Hmm.
And the final thing what we talked about is people and team building. You in a large corporation, you got to know how to work together as a team.
Hmm.
And if you think about it, if you work together as a team, you can move a mountain a lot easier than if you're a sole person, right? One person trying to move a mountain is so much harder than 20 people trying to move a mountain or 10 people trying to move a mountain.
And I think a lot of us entrepreneurs think we are alone in this. Like I have a team of about 7 at this point. And but for a long time it was just me. And it took a little while to break down the wall of that it was not just me. That even if people weren't on my team or on my payroll, there were still people in my corner that I could lean on and that I could use to help me lift that mountain and move it. Entrepreneurship is rarely siloed, and good entrepreneurship is never siloed. It always has more people. And that's exactly what you did, Wendy, with Kay. You
Totally.
expanded your team, right? You
Yes,
saw a deficit in skill or capabilities and said, I will fill that spot.
that is absolutely 100% correct. And if you think about it in a bigger picture, like we talked about from corporate, if you don't have the skill set, or if your current team doesn't have the skill set, go out and find it. Go out and find it. Now, is there training programs that you should have with your people? Absolutely. But there's also an element of when you think you have a weakness and you don't have it within your team, and you can't get it as quickly as what you need to in order to move the business forward, go and find those people that can help you get there, like Kay, like Christina, like yourself, so that they can help you move that mountain again a lot quicker, do it way more efficiently. Yes, it's going to cost you some money, but it's going to be money well spent. Again, I have to say this, don't go cheap. Don't go cheap. Don't try to save money by doing stuff yourself, because in the long run, you could actually be costing your company more because you're not able to expand it and scale it. You got to have people to be able to scale a business.
Yeah, absolutely. I learned that the hard way. When I did finally go from 1 to 7 in the span of 3 months, it was like, whoa, okay, time to do some team building and some operational excellence and some sustainability and all of these things, because all of a sudden it wasn't me anymore. And if you're thinking big picture up front, it's not as like slap across the face as it was for me. So learn from me, read Wendy's book, learn how to do this appropriately, because even though I had the skills, I had the know-how, I honestly didn't think it applied to me. I never pictured that I would get to the spot where this mattered. And then all of a sudden I was there and I was going, uh-oh, right? So I need to pick up your book. I know I do. It's going to be great. I'm going to read it. I'm going to put it on my wall of people I know's book. Well, this is our books, but then you're going to go over on that side and go on that wall, because I think what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal. Now I'm going to ask my 2 favorite questions to wrap up this interview.
Sure.
And I'm so grateful for the conversation. First of all, do you have any offers that you want to give to our listeners?
Awesome. Yes, I would love to. So if you go out to our website, and if you can publish that, that would be awesome. It's www.northstar-s as in Sam, P as in Paul.com. You can download a free excerpt of the book, and you can get, some good information from that. Also, if I have a 30-minute free consult that if anybody wants to contact me, please, by all means, you've had questions, even before or after the book, I'm always here available to help small business owners succeed, especially women business owners, minority business owners. Would love to help you navigate some of the challenges I know that you have that are kind of unique. So more than happy to do a 30-minute complimentary call.
That's beautiful. And we will make sure to put all the links down below so you can click into Wendy's website. You'll click into her book. Anything you want from her will be there. Last question. What advice do you have for aspiring authors? We already touched on the don't go cheap. So what else? What else you got for us? Because you're full of gold.
Oh, well, thank you for that. And I want to say thank you for the opportunity, Larissa. Really, really do appreciate you.
Of course.
Do your homework. Do the homework and plan it. Getting a book out in about a year and a half, it does take time away from your business. So make sure that you plan it accordingly. Again, use the people that can help you move it forward in a fashion that's affordable for you, of course, but that can also move you quicker so you can get the book out, start getting it publicized, start getting it out there in marketing. And then you can get the momentum from the book and back to work. So I would say do your homework and plan it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Budget for it, time, money, resources, all of that goes into making something that is going to move the needle in your business. Thank you so much, Wendy. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of I Wrote That. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to our show so you don't miss any of our upcoming guests. And if this has led you to some inspiration to want to get started on your own authorship journey, whether you just have an idea or you have a manuscript that you're ready to publish, reach out to us at nextpagepublishing.net, and we will match you up with our team of experts to make the journey simple, easy, and smooth.